I told my brother's ex that he proposed to her best friend to spite her. And I don't regret it. My M24 brother, M30, and his ex, F31, were together for 12 years. Everything was great until the topic of marriage and starting a family started becoming an issue, and my brother finally told the ex that he was not planning to propose. I guess the ex thought it wasn't enough for her anymore, and she broke up with him. My brother said he never believed in marriage, but that didn't mean their relationship couldn't be as serious or meaningful. Her leaving him broke him completely, because I think both still loved each other. This happened in October. 2 weekends ago my brother made an announcement that he was engaged. The woman is the ex's best friend. I didn't even know my brother was in a relationship, let alone serious enough to be engaged. I can't relay the distress and sadness the ex felt. All I know is that she was in the hospital. My brother didn't seem very bothered flaunting his new relationship everywhere. His ex is like a big sister to me, and she helped me through hard times, she and my brother. When I talked to my brother's best friend, I found out that he did it to hurt her in what she wanted the most. He showed me his texts. I was repulsed, to be honest, by how immature he is treating relationships and marriage, even though I am not a religious man. When I told my sister, F32, she told me to stay out of it, and she told my mother of my plans. My mother said that I should stay out of it too, but I want to tell the ex and show her the texts. I hate seeing her like that, and I only met her once since the breakup at the hospital, and while she acted respectful and gracious, she really believed she lacked something, because she asked why not her. Anyway, I have spoken to her now, and didn't listen to my family. My GF, my brother's best friend, and I went to eat dinner at her parents' house where she's living now. We are the only ones on the same side with my family against it, and my dad not caring either way. I told her everything, and as I expected she was skeptical at first, so my brother's best friend showed her the texts. She looked distant and shocked, and then she said that she didn't know he hated her so much to do something like this. I told her I don't think it is hate. He is distraught and his pride hurt since she broke up with him. She didn't say much but thanked us and admitted that she was going mad with thoughts. Yesterday she texted me and my girlfriend to thank us. She said when we told her the truth, she felt even more in despair, but having time to reflect on it, she could finally get that it wasn't her, and that she truly believes that this will help her in her healing journey. I called her and we talked for an hour. She promised that she will never tell anyone about us telling her the truth, that she only needed this information for herself and her own healing. I thanked her for that. She is moving away because she's found a new job and wanted a new start. She assured me that this decision had nothing to do with me telling her, but it was something she's been contemplating since the breakup. I immediately thought about my brother and how he would take news like these. I had dinner with him today, and I told him that she was moving away. I thought he would hear it soon, so it rather came from me in case he wanted to rage and be upset rather than from strangers. He didn't react, but he didn't say much afterwards either. He looked defeated. We just sat there drinking. I feel very sad for him, and I hope he feels better soon. I know people will accuse me of interfering and not siding with my family, but I don't regret anything. Sounds like your brother proper played himself there. What a mess. Using marriage as a weapon when you don't even believe in it is mental, especially with her best friend. Sounds like ex's BFF deserves your brother. May they be miserable together. I think the ex dodged a bullet, honestly. I've been treating my boyfriend like he's an OC. Since I got together with my boyfriend, I've been treating him as if he were one of my OCs. For those of you who don't know, OC stands for original character. It's kind of a catch-all term for the characters, personas, or fursonas people make up to use in stories, online roleplays, avatars, or an alter ego. Part of the culture of having an OC is drawing reference sheets of them showing their info like age, gender, likes, dislikes, etc., and what they look like. And then using that to make tons of art, fanfics, and memes. I cannot express how much energy and excitement I get from making drawings and little needle felted plushies of him. I add a lot of fantasy elements to how I design him, with things like horns, wings, and cool accessories. And sometimes I'll make furry versions of him, or in different video game art styles like Fallout or Overwatch. He loves that I make these things, but I absolutely need to keep this stuff hidden from family members that come over, and even some friends. To anyone who isn't familiar with fandom culture, it just looks like an unhealthy obsession. But to me, creating things is how I express joy. It just happens to look really odd when I have fridge magnets, clay figures, and a wall of art dedicated to a fictionalized version of my boyfriend. I almost treat it the same way a fangirl does with an anime or a YouTuber. Maybe it's a little extreme for most people, but I've noticed it makes our relationship really enjoyable. I guess I have more ways to show I love you besides saying it, buying gifts, or doing house chores. And I count myself lucky. Not every guy is okay with you one day coming up to him and showing off a doll that looks just like him. It's weird, but it makes our lives much more fun, I think. Anytime he gets a pain in his back or limb, he's gonna go searching for those dolls to see if you've been sticking pins in them. New goals unlocked successfully. Back in the day, artists called this person their muse. LOL, very cute though. I'm always afraid to draw my husband because I know I can't do it justice how perfect he is to me. I got my first tattoo and made my dad cry. I, 23 male, grew up without a father. It's something that has always bothered me since I was a child, seeing my friends with their families, feeling jealous of the cartoons. I wanted to experience the perfect family with a dad, a mom, maybe a sibling, but I didn't have that, at least until I turned 13-14. That's when my stepfather entered the picture, and I hated it. I didn't want a dad, I didn't need one, and although my biological father wasn't the best person, I didn't want someone else to take his place. Maybe deep down I hoped he would want to be a dad someday. But that day never came, and I simply had to accept that my mother was married. It was difficult to accept my stepfather into my heart. I never had a father, so I didn't know what a father was supposed to be like, and honestly, deep down, I was scared if things didn't work out and I became attached to him, it would be like reopening an old wound. But eventually, I ended up accepting my stepfather into my life. I stopped introducing him as my mom's husband. Then I stopped introducing him as my stepdad. Now it was more like, this is my dad. The first time he heard it made him tear up. I recently got a tattoo for my birthday of a design I made myself, the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper surrounded by stars. One of my favorite constellations. It's a design I put a lot of thought into, and it has a very special meaning, my mom and my dad. Because even though we're far away, they'll always be watching over me. When I video called to tell them about the tattoo, my mother cried quite a bit because seeing me with a tattoo made her realize that I was growing up. My dad isn't someone who easily shows his emotions in front of others because of his past, but when he learned that the tattoo represented them both, he cried because I decided to include him in something important to me. And honestly, even though I'm still getting used to seeing the tattoo on my arm, I don't regret it because seeing the tattoo brings me a lot of joy. Can whoever is chopping onions stop? But seriously, that is so sweet for you to do and open up your heart to him and allow him to be a part of your life. Hugs and kisses to your family heart with ribbon. This actually makes a lot of sense when you sit with it for a moment. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Purple heart, purple heart, purple heart. I am going to end my life on my 26th birthday, and I feel so happy about it. I'm 25F. My birthday is February 9th. Before anyone calls me selfish, don't worry. Nobody loves me at all, and if anyone did, I wouldn't do it. Not that someone loving me would change me wanting to do it, but I wouldn't hurt anyone that way. Nobody will be affected. I made the decision mid/late March actually, and have been slowly donating everything, cleaning up and getting the legal stuff written down. I'm not even sure who's going to deal with it. I wrote down I wanted direct cremation and requested for my ashes to be buried with my mom, but I don't even know how it works. And I don't really care because I'll be dead and free. I feel so happy and calm for the first time in a while. I'm honestly excited. I don't care what comes after, whether it's nothing or heaven or any afterlife, I don't care. I'm so excited for it to all be over. I'm not going to get into why, because I don't want to. I have a million reasons why I'm choosing to do it, but I don't care to explain myself to anyone anymore. I'm going to have the best day tomorrow, going to my favorite coffee shop, getting a birthday cake. I've never had a cake from a real bakery, so I'm excited. Going to get my favorite takeout, and then Monday I will never have to deal with anything ever again. Anyways, before I do it, I wanted to share a few things. Mostly not related to my decision, just random thoughts I want to share so others won't end up in my situation, or just advice I wanted to share. This one seems very unserious, but if you are planning to buy a car and you're young, keep in mind 5 years from now you might not have the same financial situation or stability. Coming from someone that bought a throwaway car at 19, I didn't know what that meant. The car is now worthless. I've put $2,000 into it and can't afford a new one at all. If I could go back, I would have spent more at the time and could have a reliable car now still. Stop treating people like crap because you're having a hard time. So are a lot of people. When I was in high school, everyone told me my bullies probably were just having a hard time. Meanwhile, I had to go home and get abused and never hurt anyone. This one should be common knowledge, but apparently it wasn't for me. If you are following a dream, please go to college still. Have a backup plan even if you don't like it, lol. Please. If your family treats you like garbage, leave and don't look back. I won't try to talk you out of it. I know what it's like to make up your mind about this. I just want you to know I'll think of you tomorrow and hope you don't go through with it. Happy birthday. Just want to say, even though it get all, I love you, internet stranger. Personally, if this were my plan, I'd just fake my end and move. Why not start over? Why not seek a completely different life? Why bring it to an end with a permanent and complete exit when you can bring it to an end with a beginning somewhere else?